Today we'll be talking about how to make a compost bin. So first, what you need to do is understand the science behind it. And the ideal composting ratio is 3 parts brown to 1 part green. The browns will be paper and things like that, leaves, sticks, dirt, and the green will be your vegetable scraps, fruit scraps, things like that. The reason that it has to be 3 to 1 is because it is nitrogen and carbon atoms working together to break down correctly in compost. So you have to have that ratio for it to work. Alright, so to actually set it up physically, you need to get a fairly large bin like the one pictured here would work fine. I've done that one before. And you have to get a drill to drill holes in it. So there's drainage for excess water to exit for it to work properly. Once you're done drilling holes in it, you need to have a lid for it, and you can drill holes in there if you want to also for sunlight to get in. And it needs to be kept outside from the rain, away from the rain, because too much water in it could mess up the composting. Also, you can keep it in the sun so there's heat because it has to stay really hot for it to work right. And once you've figured out where you're going to put it and put holes in it, you set it up with leaves and dirt. Just put a whole bunch of leaves and dirt in there and sticks, which will be your brown parts, the 3 parts brown that you need. Now on to what can be the green parts of it. Can be like in this picture on slide 3 of this vegetable scraps in there. They should go on top at first, like the green should be on the top of the brown. And once that's all composted a little bit, you can mix it in and fold it into the rest of the compost so it can properly decompose. Other parts that can be brown are hair and lint, paper products, and also just wood scraps from the yard, like sticks and limbs. And those will all compost down fine. Now what cannot go in it? Anything plastic. Anything plastic will not compost in your lifetime. It will take many, many years for plastic to break down. Any meat or bones, dairy, liquids, oils, fats, and grease are big no's. They will not compost properly and they will ruin your cycle that you have going. Now let's talk about the benefits and uses of a compost and why you should do it and what's the point of it. So the obvious one to me is that there's less waste in the landfill if you are putting it into your compost bin. Less food waste and less leaf litter, things like that, like how people rake their yards and then put leaves in bags to be taken to the landfill. You can just put it in your compost bin, and well, if you do that, you'll need a much larger one, but you can make it any size. I've seen people make it with pallets set up for their yard waste if you're doing it for that reason. And it's also just better for the environment in general because you're making a nice habitat around you in your ecosystem for animals to eat out of, maybe. I've had turtles in my compost before, and that was really great. It worked out great. It was a great ecosystem, and there's worms that can go in there, and they help break down everything a whole lot. And also, after about 6 to 8 weeks, your compost that you've been turning every few days or so can be used as fertilizer in your plants, and it's the best thing for your plants because it's actual nutrients that have been put through the cycle and are in the dirt, and it's just really great for fertilizer. It's also just overall really fun and stress relieving to do because to me gardening and things like that are just really fun to do and a great way to wind down at the end of the day, go water my plants and just go check on my compost and turn it. And I think it's just a really great way for people to relieve anxiety and stress. And thank you for listening. That is all.